What's up, Internet? My name is Attack Slug, and welcome to my 2015 Survivor Series predictions, which are actually going to be kind of tricky because the announced card, I am recording this on Friday morning, and there's some stuff that will apparently be on the show they have not announced yet, like, for example, the traditional 5-on-5 Survivor Series matchup is apparently going to happen this Sunday night. They have not said who the hell is going to be in that match. Now, I will tell you my predictions for who is going to be in that match. I think it will be The New Day and Sheamus and Barrett versus the Usos, Ryback, and either Lucha Dragons or the Dudleys. One of those two teams. Hey, it could be primetime players for all I know. But I think definitely this card does not have The New Day on it, and they need to be. And this card does not have your Money in the Bank holder Sheamus on it, and certainly, you know, he's your Money in the Bank guy. Fucking get him on TV. So, as far as who wins that match, I think any match involving The New Day, they should win that match. So, obviously, it could be anything else they have not said, but I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that The New Day is on one of those teams, and their team wins that match, regardless of who is the sole survivor or whatever. Anyway, on to matches that are actually announced for this show. We have this match, Dolph Ziggler versus Tyler Breeze. Now, I don't think you bring up Tyler Breeze from NXT after a long, long time in NXT. Bring him up into his first main event feud and have him lose. That would make him look shitty, you know? Like, I thought the fact that it took him so long to beat R-Truth kind of made him look weak. But giving him a nice, decisive victory against Dolph Ziggler, who seemingly anybody can beat, should not be a problem. I would hope this to be a good match. I think both these guys are capable of putting on a good match. So here's hoping there aren't any shenanigans involved in this match, and it is a clean victory for Tyler Breeze. That is my prediction. What is Summer doing? I should always get in a chair. It's this goddamn game in this AI. Anyhow, moving on to the Divas Championship, which is the subject of some controversy as of late. Paige and Charlotte, whereas Charlotte is the champion, and she is fighting Paige. The question is, will they have Charlotte drop the belt this early into her... Whoa! Whoa! Tyler Breeze, not cool. Not cool. He just got disqualified, and that... I'm not done talking yet, goddammit, rematch. You motherfuckers, I'm not done talking yet. I'm not ready to go into a second match yet for my goddamn predictions. I just started. Anyway, Paige versus Charlotte. Will they take the belt off of Charlotte like 2 months into her title reign? She beat Nikki Bella, who's now rehabbing a long-standing neck injury, or, so she says. And this one's hard to call. But I think that if they have Paige win, it's going to be due to some outside shenanigans from Becky Lynch, either costing Charlotte the belt or siding with her. Either way, there's going to be some outside shenanigans. But if it is a straight one-on-one match, I think they will continue to keep that belt on Charlotte, especially considering what happened on Raw this past week, which got a whole lot of heat for Paige, which is a good thing, because she's a heel. You should want to hate her. She should be saying, she should be saying shitty things. She's a heel. That gets you heel heat. So I think in the end, Charlotte retains. Whether or not she retains clean, I think she retains the belt. Whether or not she wins, that's going to be a whole different story. But I don't think there's going to be any kind of, DQ. But hey, it's always possible. Anyway, that moves us on to another mystery shit going on. First of all, there may or may not be a pre-show match. We don't know. They haven't said. All they said is that there will be a 5-on-5, and I swear to God, do not put that 5-on-5 on the goddamn pre-show. That'd be fucked up. But also, is anybody, if the New Day are in that 5-on-5, are they, not going to be defending their tag titles at this whatever? I think they're still tag champs. I'm pretty sure. But yes, our next mystery Is it going to be Taker and Kane versus two members of the Wyatt family? Who could it be? I bet you it won't be, Harper and Rowan, because that'd be fucking disappointing. It's probably going to be Bray and Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman. Braun Strongman. But realistically, it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter who the two members of the Wyatts are they're facing. You're going up against the Brothers of Destruction on the 25th anniversary shit for Taker. You're not going to have that and then have Taker lose. If you were going to have Taker lose to Bray Wyatt, you would have done it at WrestleMania last year, where it actually made some goddamn sense to have Bray be the new Undertaker-type character for the next fucking 20 years. Instead of just being, you know, the loser in almost every feud he's in, which is not a proper use of that character, to be honest. But that is a whole different discussion, so obviously Taker and Kane win this shit. So, that brings us to our tournament for the World Heavyweight Championship, which is the biggest... Summer Rae, what the fuck are you doing? Which is the biggest mystery of this show, because you've got no idea how these matches are actually going to play out. You don't know who's going to advance from the semis into the finals. There's no real indication. Like, obviously, the popular pick is Reigns versus Ambrose in the finals. And that, you know, a lot of times WWE will do the thing that is the predictable thing. They had Batista win the Rumble, which was, everyone was calling that for months. They had Reigns win the Rumble, which everyone was calling that shit for months. So, will they go the predictable route of having your main event for the world title be Reigns and Ambrose? Now, I think the interesting thing in this tournament, of these four guys who were in the semis, is that only one of them is a former world champion, and that is Alberto Del Rio. Will they put the belt on him again? I do not think so. Will they have Sheamus cash in on Sunday? It is possible. You could end this evening with Sheamus as your new champion. He is the Money in the Bank holder. You could have Sheamus cash in and lose to make your eventual champion look even stronger after he wins the title. And obviously, Sheamus cashing in on Sunday makes logical sense because that person would have just wrestled 2 matches that evening. They would have been very vulnerable to being cashed in on, so that would not surprise me. But first and foremost, Summer Rae, what are you doing? You're just getting involved, goddammit. But first and foremost, Reigns and Del Rio, there's no way they're not putting over their golden boy, Roman Reigns, in this match. There's no way they're not putting over Roman Reigns over Del Rio in this match. That, you could not make any safer bet than that in the entire world. That is what is going to happen. If it doesn't happen, that would shock the world. And the other match being Owens and Ambrose. This is the one where I'd say 90% of people are going to choose Ambrose because they expect Reigns and Ambrose to be in that main event. But this is the part where I'm going to differ from a large amount of the internet in my prediction. I'm going to say that Owens wins this match. And I say that because you gotta understand how much of a vindictive person that Vince McMahon is. Breeze wins there, as he should. As he should. So having Roman Reigns versus Kevin Owens as your main event for the World Heavyweight title is you have the vision of what Vince thinks should be a main event wrestler in his company, and you have the fat internet guy that is essentially a Triple H project that, you know, does not meet the standards of what Vince thinks the larger-than-life wrestler should look like. So, that being said, that is the best way to have a very divisive crowd, depending on where they have this pay-per-view. I'm not actually sure. And it is the best way to have a very loud crowd, you know, either cheering or booing, you know, either guy. And whether or not that, you know, does any favors for Reigns, I think it can be you know, a fantastic match. But more importantly, it makes better logical sense from a storyline perspective. The Authority does not want Reigns versus Ambrose as your main event, because they can't control either guy, obviously, unless you have Ambrose turn heel and join Authority, over the course of the evening. I think it makes more sense that the Authority will screw around with the Owens and Ambrose match and cost Ambrose that match, and then Owens goes to the main event and he's backing the Authority and then gets conquered by the Samoan John Cena in Roman Reigns. I think that makes better sense from a storyline over the course of the evening perspective, and that sets up a bunch of interesting matches down the line. But I think the foregone conclusion here to everybody who has half a lick of sense is that Roman Reigns ends up winning the WWE Championship for his first time. Whether or not Sheamus cashes in, because obviously that could happen. He is Money in the Bank. That remains to be seen. But I think more or less that's how it's going to end up going over the course of the night. Obviously, I could be way wrong. I've been way wrong in the past. But the last pay-per-view, I got everything right. So it could happen. But that's going to wrap it up here. I've been sitting here for a while talking about Survivor Series. And I got more videos to make today. So that being said, there's a lot of mystery here, a lot of intrigue, and a lot of things that could happen in a bunch of different directions, which is going to make this pay-per-view actually very interesting to watch. I want to know, who are the two Wyatts, and who is in the 5-on-5, who's going to be in the finals. A lot of unanswered questions that make for compelling pay-per-view television. So I'm going to be watching. Let me know who you think is going to win down in the comments below. I am your host, Attack Slug. And I will see you next time, right here on this channel. Embrace the inevitable. And I'm out. Yeah, you better get used to it. What a waste.